Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. The Flintstones parodied a fair share of classic TV and movie stars. They would spoof celebrities like Cary Grant and Rock Hudson, but with their names bedrockized as Gary Granite and Rock Quarry. The real-life Anne Margaret voiced her character Anne Margrock, as did Tony Curtis as, you guessed it, Stony Curtis. Classic TV was represented with the real-life voices of Liz Montgomery and Dick York from Bewitched, and their new neighbors the Gruesom's loosely resembled the Addams Family. But the Flintstones also dabbled in the world of popular music. For example, there was the Wayouts, who clearly spoofed the Beatles, and also the Beau Brummel-Stones, who in this case not only looked like the Beau Brummels, but actually performed their hit song, Laugh Laugh. But then there was the unbedrockized name of a legendary songwriter, Hoagie Carmichael, and he was on the show to perform the Yabba Dabba 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 Doo song. So with this musical element interjected into the Flintstones, it could possibly be what introduced myself and many others to the world of rock and roll. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. Although he won 2 Emmys for his role on Hogan's Heroes, Werner Klemperer only agreed to play the part of Colonel Klink once he was assured that the character was for the most part incompetent. Reportedly, this was a moral stance for him. He and his Jewish family had to flee their homeland of what would soon become Nazi Germany. They immigrated to the U.S., and later Werner served in the U.S. Army during World War II. Actors John Banner, who played the lovable Sergeant Schultz,
I see nothing, I know nothing,
and Leon Askin, who played the fearsome General Burkhalter,
I never knew you were so ruthless.
were both Jewish-born Austrians. Fortunately, prior to the war, they immigrated to the U.S. as well. During World War II, Bannon served in the Air Force and Askin in the United States Army Air Force. So besides the shared history, these 3 actors had a couple other things in common. They got to play the German bad guys on Hogan's Heroes. Well, Schultz wasn't so bad. And in real life, their wartime service for the American Armed Forces during World War II made them the real heroes. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. Batman has had his fair share of supervillains to battle, including one that doubled as a love interest. The Batman-Catwoman saga has been in the storyline for the better part of 80 years. During the first 2 seasons of the classic TV show, the incredible Julie Newmar donned the seductive black cat suit. As well as having an acclaimed career on Broadway and in films, Newmar also appeared in many classic TV shows. There was The Twilight Zone, Route 66, Star Trek, Get Smart, The Monkees, the list goes on. As an innovative clothing designer, she gained 3 U.S. patents for her creations in women's undergarments. As a nutrition and healthy living advocate, she claims to have never smoked, drank, or taken drugs in her life. And she's renowned for being highly gracious to her fans. So with all this, I would say casting Julie Newmar as our bad but good Catwoman was the perfect choice. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. In 1956, a young visionary named Dick Clark became the host of a popular Philadelphia-based TV show called Bandstand. The following year, ABC conducted an affiliate poll on what they should fill an open national slot with. Clark sensed an opportunity and pushed hard to get Bandstand picked up. And in 1957, that push paid off as the newly dubbed American Bandstand went coast to coast. It not only featured hit records, but included performances by the musical artists. Dick Clark also made an indelible social impression. How? By his insistence of racial integration of both the music as well as the cast. Showing that young voices mattered too was the segment called Rate a Record. This coined that popular catchphrase, it's got a good beat, and you can dance to it. The legacy of Dick Clark and his American Bandstand charged ahead for over 30 years and forever changed the landscape of both music and television. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. In 1963, a half-hour game show called Let's Make a Deal hit the television airwaves. The ever-popular host of the show, Monty Hall, also co-created and produced the program. Each episode's contestants would be randomly picked by Hall himself. And the trick was just how to get Monty's eye. Reportedly, a trend began with audience members wearing crazy hats, and it just escalated from there. Originally, most everybody came dressed in everyday business attire. Monty Hall claimed one day a woman came to the show dressed in a chicken suit, and so he picked her. Well, that trend was set, and it grew and grew. As a matter of fact, within a month of the premiere, the entire audience of contestants came dressed in crazy costumes. This unwritten, unexpected premise of the show just made it that much more fun to watch. And it definitely helped shape the timeless popularity of Monty Hall's Let's Make a Deal. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. Yet another TV crush I had was on the beautiful Linda Evans. I first came to appreciate her on one of my favorite TV westerns, playing Audra Barkley on The Big Valley. Linda started her TV career on shows like Ozzie and Harriet and The Untouchables. But 1965 seems to have been her breakout year. She was cast as singer Sugar Kane in the Frankie and Annette classic movie Beach Blanket Bingo. She also guest starred on hit shows like My Favorite Martian and Wagon Train. Then began her steady role in the great ensemble cast of The Big Valley. After that show's successful run, Linda continued into the 1970s with some big screen roles. She appeared alongside Lee Marvin, Robert Shaw, and Steve McQueen. She also guest starred on many of the popular TV detective shows of the era. Then in the early 1980s, she landed her iconic role as Crystal Carrington on the primetime soap opera Dynasty. With all this culminating in multiple awards as well as a star on Hollywood Boulevard, Linda Evans is the epitome of a television legend.